In 2013, Lakewood police officers shot and killed a man right in front of his 4-year-old son. The city is now appealing a $15 million verdict following a wrongful death lawsuit. Seattle Times reporter Mike Carter has been following this story and published an update this morning.
Mike, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Take us back to that night. Tell us what happened.
Well, thanks for having me. It began as a domestic dispute, an argument between a man named Leonard Thomas and his mother. Mr. Thomas was in crisis. He was despondent. He'd lost a friend. He'd been drinking. He called his mother to have his mother maybe come and take his 4-year-old son, but when his mother arrived, there was an argument, and she called the police. The police responded with a SWAT team, and they surrounded his house, and over a period of about 4 hours, he told them to go away and leave him alone, and eventually he came out and they shot him.
Now, he was unarmed, is what I understand.
That's
he had
correct.
No weapon on him.
That's correct. In fact, they had essentially resolved the issue. He was getting ready to let the boy, his child, 4-year-old boy, go home with his mother, and they were going to let him sleep it off and then come back in the morning. And he was on the front porch with the car seat and his child and a backpack when Chief Mike Zarro from Lakewood ordered an assault team to enter the house using explosives and assault the house. Mr. Thomas reacted by grabbing his son, and a police sniper shot him in the stomach.
Now, there were many opportunities for the city of Lakewood to settle with this family, but they didn't, and they went to trial. The jury found against the city of Lakewood. Now this appeal, again, against the city of Lakewood. Why didn't the city appeal? I mean, why didn't the city settle?
The city has never acknowledged anything amiss about this situation, despite the findings of a jury. This is the largest civil rights police death verdict in this district. The legal costs are mounting. They're up over $4 million now. The city's going to be responsible for that if they continue to lose. And I know that it's very difficult and very unusual for a court to overturn a jury's verdict.
Has Lakewood made any kind of reforms since this case?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Now, this is a history of trouble with the Lakewood Police Department.
That department has struggled, of course, in the terrible situation in 2009 when 4 police officers were killed. Afterwards, there was a commander in the department, Skeeter Manos, who was indicted for stealing money that was given to the widows and children of those dead officers. There have been other issues involving the chief and the union. It's a troubled department, I think.
Okay, this family has already won a civil case?
That's correct.
So now there's this $15 million verdict. There's the legal fees, as you mentioned. This appeal is going to cost a lot of money as well. Tell us where we're at in terms of the appeal process and how much longer this could go on.
Well, it could go on for years. I mean, this is the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal, and they're going to look at this case from the beginning. The city of Lakewood has hired a pretty high-end law firm to handle the appeal. They charge around between $100 and $450 an hour, and the appeal could obviously go on for a long time. Because it was a civil rights suit, the city and the chief are responsible for the attorney's fees of this family, and those are mounting. They're up over, at least they're asking for almost $3 million now, and the city spent almost $2 million on its own defense.
Now, usually in these kinds of cases, insurance companies will cover a city, but you're saying or implying that this might not happen for the city of Lakewood.
The city of Lakewood is insured, but one of the things that happened in this verdict, and one of the things that makes it so remarkable, is that there were punitive damages levied against the police chief and 2 other officers, a fellow named Mike Wiley and another officer named, that's horrible, I forgot. Anyway, Brian Markert was the other officer. He was the sniper that night. And they've been ordered to pay punitive damages. The city won't cover or at least their insurance doesn't cover punitive damages. If the city pays for those, it'll probably have to come out of the city's pocket.
The Seattle Times, Mike Carter, we appreciate your reporting on the story. We appreciate you coming here today to talk about it. We know you're going to continue to cover and follow this case.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.